Hey fam, in this video we look at what imposter syndrome is, why we feel it, and how to deal with it. So let's get into this video. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't, share with your friends and family, and let's get in. Hey fam, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tobi Achudume. If this is your first time here, you are super welcome. I am so excited to have you here with me. So here on this channel, we talk about topics, tips and tricks that would help us grow fearlessly to the best versions of ourselves. So if you're interested in topics like this, please click the subscribe button so you get notified when we have new videos up. And if you're a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you so much for stopping by again. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as you have enjoyed the other ones. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so that you join this space as a member of the family. Today on this channel, we are going to be talking about imposter syndrome. So I am almost 100% sure that you know what imposter syndrome is. You are kind of aware or familiar with the term imposter syndrome, and so we're going to be looking at what that is and how to deal with it, because imposter syndrome is something that a lot of people go through, and they go through it silently or obviously. So when I say obviously, it's saying that they are struggling with who they are, they are struggling with what they know themselves to be. And so we're going to be looking at what it is and how to deal with it, because it comes with different seasons of life. As much as I would want to say that you can completely overcome imposter syndrome, it sneaks up on you, and then you just have to again remind yourself that it is a false definition of who you are, and you know who you are and what you can do. So what is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is an internal experience of you thinking or believing that you're not as competent as other people perceive you as. You're not as competent as you think you are. You see yourself as a fraud. You think that you are a fraud, and that at any moment you could be found out as that, a fraud. And it is internal, so it does not come as a result of what you're seeing around you or something. It could just be you doubting in yourself and doubting in your ability, because you feel like, oh my goodness, am I supposed to be doing this, or am I fit to do this? Can I do this? Sometimes imposter syndrome comes with some level of success that you have seen, and you are doubting if you are able to sustain that. And other times it comes with you not being in the place that you want to be, because you feel like you are a fraud. You feel like you are not capable, or you are not the person to be talking about what you want to talk about. You're not the person to be doing what you want to do, because you feel like you are not up to the task yet. So the term itself, imposter syndrome, was introduced in 1978 by two psychologists, Doctors Pauline and Susan, and they define imposter syndrome as a psychological pattern. So I'm going to read their definition so that I don't miss the words, and it is paraphrased. So they define it as a psychological pattern in which individuals doubt their accomplishments and feel left out or feel not worthy to be doing what they want to do. So it is people or individuals feeling unqualified to be doing what they want to do. Even if they know they can do it, they feel unqualified because of whatever it is that they're going through, whatever it is that is affecting them, internal thoughts, self-doubt, and all of that. The sad thing about imposter syndrome is that it has the ability to hold you down and stop you from doing the things that you actually want to do, because you feel like you are not supposed to be doing them. It could limit you from growing into your best version. On the bright side of this, which is not really a bright side, is that you're not the only person that feels this if you feel it at all. A lot of people feel imposter syndrome. They feel like fraud in whatever places or position that they are. Maya Angelou, one of the best writers, says that anytime she releases a writing piece, she always feels like, oh, this is the one they are going to get me as a fraud. Thankfully, we are still not seeing her as a fraud, because we know that she is a great writer. So many accomplished people, many successful people, many powerful and great people feel imposter syndrome, but they have learned to not let it limit them from doing the things that they want to do. They have learned to deal with it and manage it to the point that it does not affect the work that they are supposed to be doing. It does not stop their greatness from being greater. It does not stop them from shining and working in their purpose. They have learned to manage imposter syndrome and deal with it the way it should be dealt with. So I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that you can do to manage and deal with imposter syndrome, so it doesn't stop you, hold you back, or limit you from being your true great self. The first thing that you need to do is to acknowledge the feeling. So like we said earlier, it's a feeling of being unqualified or unworthy to do things. You have to acknowledge that feeling. If you're going to fix something, if you're going to deal with something, if you're going to solve something, you have to know what you're solving, what you're dealing with. So you cannot deal with imposter syndrome by ignoring the fact that it is there. It is only going to be magnified. It's like you telling yourself, ignore this thing, ignore this thing, ignore this thing. You know that it is there, but telling yourself that you're ignoring it is not ignoring it. So acknowledge that the feeling is there. Acknowledge that you at this point feel unqualified to be doing what you want to do. You feel like you're not worthy to be doing it. And when I say acknowledge, I'm not saying you should accept that you are a fraud. It is you knowing that there is a part of you that thinks that you are a fraud. There is a part of you that sees yourself as unqualified for what you want to do. So you're not accepting that that is who you are, but you're acknowledging that there is a thought in that line that you are working with. So acknowledge that the feeling is there. If you're going to fix it, you have to know that it is there and accept that it is there. You will not go to the hospital to try and treat a cold by telling them that the cold is not there. You will tell them that you feel a cold or you have cold, and then they are going to fix it. So when you have imposter syndrome or when you feel like an imposter, you should acknowledge that it is there because we're trying to fix it and make sure that you do not see yourself as a fraud. So in acknowledging this, some people would use it as the motivation to come out of it. So some people will acknowledge that they feel like a fraud and remind themselves that that is not what they are. They use it as a fuel to motivate them to do what they want to do. Some other people will still need some other steps and help to still deal with imposter syndrome. But the first thing that you need to do is to acknowledge it. It's like dealing with fear. If you're dealing with fear, you cannot be dealing with fear by ignoring that it is there. You have to first accept that it is there, and then you start dealing with it. Number 2, question your thoughts. So it is internal. You're thinking about it. You're thinking that you're a fraud. You're thinking that you're not qualified and you're unworthy to be doing what you want to do. Question the thoughts. Ask yourself, why are you thinking that? Why are you feeling it? Why would you think or consider yourself as a fraud in spite of all of the things that you have done? And even if you have not done so much, you have started doing, and you know the ideas that you have, you know the gifts and talents that you've been given. So why do you think you are a fraud? Why do you think you are unqualified to do the things that you want to do? Question your thoughts. Don't accept them as they are. You're not to accept that you're a fraud, but question why there is a part of you thinking that you are a fraud. Also, in questioning your thoughts, you're also questioning why you should be thinking that, why you should see yourself as that. It's fine for other people to see you as whatever it is that they want to see you. It's fine for other people to have ideas of who they think you are. But it is not fine for you to be seeing yourself as less of who you are. So ask yourself why you're even thinking it at all, and if you should be thinking it. What are the things that you have seen around you, or that you have thought on, or you have dwelt on, that is making you to think that is making you to see yourself as who you are not? So while you're thinking on the reasons why you're seeing yourself as a fraud, you're also giving yourself reasons why you are not a fraud. You're giving yourself the answers. You're countering those negative thoughts with positive thoughts because you know who you are and you know that you are not a fraud. So you're countering those thoughts of you being a fraud with thoughts of knowing who you are and being confident in your identity. You are not accepting that you are a fraud even if you're thinking it. But in thinking, you're using positive thoughts to fight negative thoughts. You're countering your negative thoughts with positive thoughts. So you know yourself and you know what you can do. So counter those negative thoughts with the positive thoughts of what you can do. Number 3, make up your mind to not be held back by imposter syndrome. Determine in yourself. Make up your mind. Let it be known to you and every part of you that you're not going to let imposter syndrome stop you from being who you are supposed to be. A lot of people do not grow to their best versions. A lot of people do not achieve as much as they would want to achieve because they allowed imposter syndrome to hold them down. I'm not saying that's the only thing that stops people from being great or the only thing that stops people from being successful, but I'm saying that it is one of the things that has the ability to do so. So make up your mind, determine in yourself not to allow imposter syndrome to stop you, to hold you back. use it as a tool to motivate yourself. And I say this because imposter syndrome doesn't come once and disappear. It comes with levels of success. It comes with levels of achievement. So you could legit achieve something today and tomorrow feel like you were not the right person to have done that. And when another opportunity which is bigger than that comes, you would want to stop yourself from doing it because you feel like you were a fraud, or you feel like you were unqualified to do it in the first case. So imposter syndrome doesn't come once. It's not a one-off thing. It comes with different levels. It comes with different seasons. It comes with different age of life. It comes at different ages as well. So it does not just come when you're in your 20s or in your 30s. It could come when you're in your 50s or your 60s. It comes differently, and it comes with different achievements or accomplishments. So you have to make up your mind to not be held back by it. If you were able to overcome it today, you should remind yourself that you need to overcome it every single day that it comes. Every single time that the feeling or the thought comes, you are ready to win it. You're ready to fight it, and you're ready to make sure that it does not stop you from doing the things that you are called to do, doing the things that you're supposed to do, and living your best life. Number 4, look at recent or past achievements and accomplishments. Imposter syndrome comes to tell you that you're not supposed to be able to do what you're doing, or you're not supposed to be able to do what you want to do. But look at your past achievements, look at your recent achievements, things that you have succeeded in, things that you have done beautifully well, things that you have done and you have smashed. You have done it excellently well. People have praised you for this. People have encouraged you for this. People have told you that you doing this helped them. It gave them reason to do other things, to venture into their own calling, their own space, or whatever it is. Look at those recent wins, all past wins. Look at your achievements, your accomplishments, your wins. Write them down if you need to. Look at those things. Those things will tell you that you were able to do it because you have the qualities to do it. You were able to get those wins, those achievements, those accomplishments because you were able to do it, not because you mistakenly stumbled into it. You cannot sustain a mistake. If you were able to do it and record success, record wins, record accomplishments in these things, it's because it was not a mistake. You are called to do it. You are working in your strength. You are able to do those things because it is in you to do it. You are qualified to do it. You were able to do it because you have the ability to do it. So look at those wins, look at those achievements, look at those accomplishments, and let them motivate you, let them inspire you, and let them again remind you of your strengths, remind you of your qualities, your characters, your ability to do things that you put your mind to do. If you were able to win, if you were able to record success and achievement as you were able to, you did that because you were supposed to, not because you were not qualified, but because you're qualified to do it. Number 5, talk to someone. And I feel like anytime I say talk to someone, I have to be specific in saying that you talk to people that are interested in your win, people that are interested in your growth and in your progress, not just random people, or not just friends that gossip about you, or people that see you as who you are not, people that would be able to beat you down. No, you're talking to people that you see as your support system. So this could be you're talking to a mentor, you're talking to a coach, you're talking to a pastor, you're talking to a therapist. Talk to them about what you're feeling. In most cases, they are able to talk you back into seeing yourself as who you are supposed to be, rather than dwelling in the fraud that you think that you are. So talking to a support system, talking to somebody, is going to help you to verbalize the thoughts that you are saying. And even in doing that, before the person starts to question or do any assessment or whatever it is that they would do to help you, you yourself would hear your thoughts and be able to fix it as it is coming out as words. When you leave thoughts in your mind, they are very powerful because you are just thinking and brooding on these thoughts. But when you verbalize them and you listen to what you say, then you're giving yourself the ability to either accept it or reject it. So talk to somebody about what you're feeling and let them help you. If you speak to the right people, they will remind you of your greatness, they will remind you of your strength, they will remind you that you're qualified to do the things that you want to do. They will remind you why you are the person to be doing it. You're the man for the job, you're the woman for the job. They will remind you of all of these things if you're speaking to the right people. So then I should say that it is important for you to have a support system. I have a video where I talk about having and choosing great support systems. I'm going to leave it linked in the description bar and also somewhere in this video. Please check it out, because we should not just think that we are lone rangers. We are not just supposed to isolate and let everything that we want to do be on just ourselves. Having a great support system helps, and it helps you to deal with imposter syndrome as well, because they will correct whatever you're thinking when you cannot correct it by yourself. So these are 5 ways that you can start dealing with imposter syndrome, because it would always come. You should always be ready to counter it. You should always be ready to not see yourself as a fraud and believe in your strength and in your ability that God has given you to work on the journey and on the path that you're already working on. So to recap, I'm going to share with you again the 5 points that you can start working with. So number 1, acknowledge the feeling. Not accept it, but acknowledge that the feeling is there. Number 2, question your thoughts. So ask yourself why you're thinking the way you're thinking and why you think that you are a fraud. Number 3, make up your mind to not be held back by imposter syndrome. So the fact that you have it does not mean it should stop you. Let it be a motivating factor to push you to working towards your goal and being the best version of yourself. Number 4, look at your wins and accomplishments, recent and past, to remind you that you are not a fraud, but you're qualified because you have recorded these wins, success, and accomplishment. And number 5, talk to someone. Have a support system that you can talk to that can remind you of the greatness that you are and the successful person that you can be. So that will be it for me for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment section what you think about these tips. Any other tip that you think you can share with us that we would like to see, please share with me in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do not forget to like, do not forget to share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Till next time, bye.